You are literally a glass of beer. And here's what I mean by this. A couple of weeks ago, I was really just clouded in my mind with my thoughts and my ideas and everything I had. And I decided to go to a seminar. And it was a seminar hosted by one of the biggest personal brands in Latvia, one of the biggest millionaires in Latvia. And I remember particularly one part of the seminar, the host, the millionaire himself, he took out a glass. And it was something very, very random, like out of nowhere. And then he took out a beer bottle. And I was like, what the fuck we're doing? We're about to get wasted. And what he did, he raised up the bottle and he started pouring the beer in. Now, at first everybody was like, what the fuck? What's he doing? And then, once the bottle was full, he lifted it up like this and asked, what is this? Everybody was like, that's a glass of beer. He's like, no, what is this? In a metaphorical sense. We didn't understand what he meant, so he just continued to talk about the glass itself. It's your mind. The beer is information. You see, if you put a lot of information into the glass at once, there's a lot of foam forming, okay? Now, if you let the glass sit, the foam is gonna lower, and all of a sudden you have more space to pour more beer in. However, if you keep on pouring the beer as the foam increases, it's gonna spill over and it's not gonna be a good result for you. So then basically the idea of this is, your mind and you are a glass of beer. And this is what we have written down here. The thing is, in today's world, with social media, with news, with a ton of information, like this information as well, it's being thrown at you from all angles 24/7. And if you have a lot of information thrown at you at once, you have lack of clarity, okay? You start to form lack of clarity. You don't really understand your ideas anymore. You don't even know what you're talking about, and it ends up being a horrible experience for you. This is why you need to lower your foam, which happens from when you get a lot of information in your mind, and it just goes in and out, in and out, in and out. Because for me, like at around that time, I was working on swimmingleads.com, my marketing agency, and then another business on the side. And what happened there was, for my marketing agency, I was in the process of kind of like getting new human resources in and trying to scale. With Swimming Leads, it's basically a new business I'm trying to build up from scratch. And with the other business, it's the same new business I'm trying to build up from scratch. So what happened there was, I had a lot of information I had to process. And what happened is I was literally sitting on my phone for like 6 hours a day because I had to respond to all the messages, had to respond to clients, had to respond to my partners. And it was a lot of information going in and out, in and out, in and out. And it's hard for me to focus. It was almost impossible for me to focus. And when I had to even tell to others, what do? It was hard for me to even do that. Because there's a lot of information coming in and out and there is no clarity. This is the problem. And this lack of clarity led me to going to that seminar I was talking about, and then we got to the glass of beer. So now we're going to be basically going over what I learned from the seminar and what I'm starting to do right now in order to focus more and have more clarity in my mind so I can be a better performer. Because in business, the most important thing you have to understand is when you're decision making is key there. And if your brain is full with a bunch of bullshit, it's going to be hard for you to make good decisions. So it's important for you to clear your mind and to let it be free. So tip number 1, moment of silence. This is, in a world full of information, like you're always connected to everything 24/7. And it's funny that we even don't give up time for ourselves just to sit in silence and do nothing, right? This is something pretty insane because you have to literally schedule in times in your own calendar just to sit and do nothing, right? It's pretty crazy, and this is something you have to do because what happens again to the glass of beer? There's a lot of information being poured in. You don't have a lot of space to process the information. There's a bunch of foam, a bunch of smoke, if you will, like going in front of your clarification. And it's hard to process that information. It's almost impossible. So what you want to do is you want to have nothing. No information coming in. You just chilling out a bit, okay? And I know this sounds crazy, you know, you're trying to hustle and chill out, Reinis. What the fuck you mean? Are you stupid? Yes, but you need to do that. I attempt to do that from 10 to 20 minutes a day, right? Usually I try to do that when I'm traveling, because then I can literally just stare at one point, be silent, and think about the information I've gathered from yesterday, the information I've gathered from this book. And actually, an action step to you guys: write this down in your notes. If you don't have notes, pull the notes out. As you are, either if you're on Swim and Leads website, you should probably read the article as well. If you're on YouTube, you're just gonna see the video. So go to swimandleads.com. What you want to do after watching this video is just sit down for 10 minutes and think about what you heard. Process the information and internalize it. This is the key word: internalize the information you get, because then you're thinking to, how does this impact me? What's my stance on this? Do I agree with Reinis or don't I agree with Reinis? What did Reinis say right? In my opinion, what did Reinis say wrong in my opinion? This is gonna, number one, allow you to process more of the information I told you. Number two, it's going to help you form an opinion. And number three, it's going to help you take more action. It's super important for you to do that and to have moments of silence, because it really helps you clarify your thoughts and clarify and organize the information you have just gathered. And also with this, when you have moments of silence, you can take your time to think about whether the information I just got is a quality information, is a high quality information, or low quality information. A good example for this: news. That's low quality information. That's information that doesn't give you much value, right? It's just basically gossip. It's gossip. You make money. People make money from running ads. So that's what news is, especially in my eyes. So then a couple of things for you guys to have these moments of silence, and how can you optimize those for more success. Here are my 2 tips to do that. So number one is going to be meditation / going for a walk. If you're reading the article, it's just going to be titled Going for the Walk, because it's something I resonate with more. Personally, I don't like meditation, right? I just kind of feel like it's some humaya stuff, like I just sit down and meditate. I have a different form of meditation, and it's walking. Because with walking, I can experience more, because if I try to sit down and meditate, it's hard for me, right? I have to change my environment, so it don't work. Because I know if I would meditate, I would literally pick up my phone and probably start answering some questions or speaking to my students, whatnot. Whatever. So when you're going for a walk, there are a couple of things you have to realize. Meditation is straightforward. I don't need to talk much about it. But going for a walk, that actually is a form of meditation as well. I'm going to be speaking more about that, since I feel like that's a more powerful way to do this. Number one, breathing. This is so important, because proper breath, it helps you to get more energy, simply because you're getting more oxygen into your body. You're feeding your cells, and those cells, mitochondria, I think that's what you call it in English. The part of the cells which gives them energy, it's just being fired up. You fucking feel like a beast. That's what you have to get, and that's what you get from breathing fresh air. Then something what's important: do not go for these walks while jogging, or do not go for fast walks. You want to be going to walks that are like 5 kilometers an hour. Slow walks, take it slow, okay? Because why? And also, like, why this speed? Why 5 kilometers an hour? 5 kilometers an hour because that's a speed where I think it's like 2 miles an hour. I don't know miles. Don't quote me on that. So why 5 kilometers an hour? 5 kilometers an hour because that's a speed when you walk and your body isn't focusing on giving energy for you to, do physical activity. Your body is focusing on your body allows you to move and to think, right? It's more energy is going to your brain rather than your legs to fucking run, right? Because while running, it's hard for you to think and clarify, because more adrenaline kicks in, and you're doing a physical activity, so you have to focus on one thing at a time. You cannot try to merge them two, because it's not gonna work out. That's why 5 kilometers an hour. Known place in nature. This is what I highly recommend. If you try to do these walks, don't go in unknown places, because if you go in unknown places, you have to think about, where I have to go next. Is this gonna get me to some place weird, or is this safe, etc., etc.? It's not a good place to be in, right? You want to be walking through known places. So basically, you create like a routine of, what you walk around, and that's what's up. That's basically why you want to have a known place, preferably in nature, since there's less noise and you can clearly think and breathe fresh air. If you don't have any nature around you, just go to a park. If that's the closest thing to nature you can get. I'm lucky, I'm blessed that I'm living right next to a lake and a couple of forests, so I just go into those forests to clarify my mind. Now, the second tip I have for you is disconnecting. This is literally, you pack your bags, get an Airbnb in the countryside and go there, or go to your grandma, whatever it is. Just disconnect. Don't turn on your phone. Disconnect. Go away for 2-3 days. Then once you're there, just be in nature. Just walk around, breathe fresh air. Like, do some physical activity. Do not think about work. And this is hard to do if you don't have any employees, because then you're pretty much killing your business. If you have partners, if you have employees, this allows your beer bottle to settle the foam you have in you. Disconnecting is the best thing, because with walking in nature, that's something you should be doing on day-to-day basis. With disconnecting, it's more like you do it like once a year or like once every couple months. Just disconnect from everything. Just clearly think. Because then when you're disconnecting, you can focus on creative work. You can focus on business plans. You can focus on like some planning and next goal setting and going through that. That's what you can focus on when you are disconnected. Because once you're connected into the world, your brain is all over the place. When everything's silent, everything's calm, you can really focus on one thing. And that's really important, focusing one thing at a time, because that makes you perform better. So yeah, guys, hopefully I helped you out, clarifying your mind and clarifying your thoughts, and preferably making you more money. So by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, go to swimandleads.com. Again, swimandleads.com. I'm just gonna write it down here. Where's my pen? Swim in leads. Swimandleads.com. You'll find a bunch of free resources there, a bunch of free value on there. So make sure you go onto that site, because if you watch these videos onto that site on the resources section, there's more value you can get for that. Because for every blog post I have, there's also a text version you can actually take a look at. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and Reinis out.